Hello, Thanos here, and I would like to talk about the key elements in prosecuting criminal cases, specifically focusing on the general rule, circumstantial evidence, and prima facie. Let's talk about general rule. So, in criminal law, the prosecution carries the burden of proof. This means that we must prove that the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. This standard is crucial to ensure that only those who are truly guilty are convicted. We achieve this by presenting evidence and arguments that establish the defendant's involvement in the crime. Now let's talk about circumstantial evidence. So it plays a significant role in criminal cases. Unlike direct evidence, which directly links the defendant to the crime, circumstantial evidence relies on an inference to connect it to the conclusion of fact. For instance, if we find the defendant's fingerprints at the crime scene or witness them acting very suspiciously around the time of the incident, these pieces of evidence build a case that supports their guilt indirectly. Though not as straightforward as direct evidence, can be incredibly powerful. When multiple pieces of circumstantial evidence are combined, they form a web of facts that point towards the defendant's culpability. It is the accumulation and interconnection of these details that often lead to a conviction. Now let's talk about prima facie. To establish a prima facie case, the prosecution must present enough evidence to prove each element of the crime. This means showing that the crime occurred, the defendant was involved, and they had the intent to commit it. If the evidence presented by the prosecution is sufficient to prove these elements, then the case can move forward to a trial. In conclusion, the prosecution role is to present a strong case that meets the high standard of proving guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. We do this through a combination of direct and circumstantial evidence and by establishing a prima facie case. Each piece of evidence is a part of a larger puzzle that, when assembled, clearly points to the defendant's guilt. Thank you for the time.